Today, I want to welcome you. If you're here, it's not by accident. Maybe you're carrying something inside you that no one sees, or maybe you've been waiting for a sign that never came until now. This is the story of Claire. But perhaps, in more ways than one, this is also the story of you. One quiet morning, Claire found a letter in her mailbox with no return address. The paper was thick and old, folded once, as if it had traveled far, through time rather than distance. She wasn't expecting anything. No one had written to her in years. Her hands trembled slightly as she opened it, not from fear, but from the strange sensation that something was about to change. The letter began simply saying, "I know you, and I know what you're feeling, even if you've never said it out loud." There was no name, no signature, but line after line it described the exact heaviness Claire carried inside. The ache of being invisible, the exhaustion of always pretending she was fine, the quiet rage of not being chosen again and again. The letter spoke of memories Claire hadn't shared with anyone, not even herself, and yet there they were. Described in detail the red coat she wore the day her mother left the way. She stopped singing when she was 10, the exact shade of her sadness on cold mornings. It was impossible, and yet it was real. She reread the letter 5 times that day. By evening, her body ached, not from the words, but from everything they had unlocked. There was something about being seen that deeply, even by a stranger, that stripped away her defenses. It was like someone had reached into the space behind her ribs and whispered, "I see you. I remember who you were before they made you forget." That night, Claire didn't sleep. She sat on the edge of her bed, the letter in her hands, wondering who could have written it. A friend, a ghost, a version of herself from the past. Or maybe someone who loved her once and never got to say goodbye. Over the next days, something in her shifted. Not all at once, but in tiny movements, like thawing ice. She stopped apologizing for being quiet, looked at herself in the mirror longer, even wore that red coat again, the one that made her feel like herself. And with every step, she kept the letter close, not in her purse, but in her mind. It became the voice she had lost, the voice that had once said, "I matter even if no one tells me I do." Claire never found out who wrote it. She tried. She asked, she searched, but there was no clue, just the words and the way they stayed. In a world where everything passes quickly, where even love can disappear without warning, this letter remained a proof that sometimes we are more seen than we think. Sometimes the universe answers, just not in the way we expect. Maybe you're carrying a silence like that, a part of you that no one has ever reached. Maybe you've been forgotten by someone who still lives inside you. And it is not pride that keeps the pain alive. It is the connection that was never closed. We call it symbolic grief, a mourning without a grave, a love without a last word. And if that's you, if your heart still waits for something it may never receive, know this: you are not broken. You are simply still holding on to what once mattered deeply. And that makes you human. That makes you real. Sometimes the most healing words are the ones we didn't know we needed. And maybe this video is your letter, the one that says, "I see you. I know what it's like to wonder if you'll ever feel whole again. I know how much it costs to carry an unanswered goodbye. But I promise you, what was not said can still become peace. What was lost can still become meaning, and what was torn can still become light. If you are Claire, if you reach still waiting for a sign, let this be it. You are allowed to let go, not because it didn't matter, but because you finally do. Your voice matters. Your story matters. Even if no one else said it, today I'm saying it to you. If this story touched something inside you, you're not alone. You were never alone. Share this video with someone who needs a voice when they've lost their own. And if you'd like to stay to feel understood again, leave a comment, a like, or subscribe to this space. This is my vessel of light, and here your existence never needed permission.